All right, as the government shutdown drags on, the White House is shedding light on how dozens of criminal illegal migrants received Medicaid before their arrests and their deportations.
$150 billion of spending.
You're an idiot.
Able-bodied illegal immigrants in states because they think it's the right thing to do. If they want to pay for it, they should pay for it.
FEMA didn't have enough money for those to help Americans and people who live here, but yet was spending so much on migrants.
Criminal illegal murderers and rapists received Medicaid at the American taxpayer's expense.
Why is it so hard for people to understand that these people are costing you money?
ClickThatReacts. I just want to sit back and relax. ClickThatReacts.
Now, let me just start off this video by saying thank you to Tay Smith on Facebook for posting this information over there on his Facebook page. Links to his page will be down in the description area. Now let's get into it.
So the migrant crisis has resulted in something like $150 billion of spending.
Now, I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand that these illegals are costing you money. They're making all of your prices go up. Now, look, I don't have a master's or a bachelor's degree in economics, but even to me, the answer is very obvious and clear.
About $650 million from FEMA, which is the federal agency that deals with natural disasters like hurricanes and earthquakes. And there was a lot of controversy over the last little while when hurricanes hit the southern part of the United States, with people complaining that, FEMA didn't have enough money for those to help Americans and people who live here, but yet was spending so much on migrants in FEMA. But what we've seen with the latest statistics is that, yes, the federal government has spent a ton of money, but it's mostly the smaller communities, the states and the municipalities and the towns and the villages that have been shouldering most of the costs for migrants. And just to add, according to FAIR, which is a nonprofit in Washington, D.C. that studies immigration, according to their numbers, they found that most of the spending was coming from smaller communities, and they estimate that there are now 15.5 million migrants, that is, people without legal status in the United States right now.
Take a look at this chart here. Now, this chart is showing you how much each state has paid for its illegal immigrants, not even including the ones that came here legally, right? Now look at California, New York, and Illinois. But thanks to Mr. Gavin Newsom, let's just really focus in on California. And you can see how nowhere else in the nation is even close. And speaking of California, now I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple of Facebook groups that I am so happy and proud to be a part of. The amount of love and support that they show your boy is just absolutely incredible. Now, this is going to be the California state and federal candidates, the California Black Republicans, and the Jurupa Valley Facebook groups. Now, I just want to go ahead and let everybody know that I am not paid by these groups in any way, shape, or form at all. They don't endorse me, all right? These are just wonderful people that support me, that support America, and I'm going to do my part to show that love back, all right? The links will be down in the description area. Make sure you go ahead and give them a click, check them out, and join me in the groups. Now, with all that being said, let's get back to the video. Now, if you're sitting there thinking that your state spending this much money on anybody doesn't cost you money in some way, shape, or form, then I have to say it. You're a fool, all right? You're an idiot.
The mayor of South Portland, Maine, was telling elderly residents who were very upset about property taxes rising that they should just take out a second mortgage. This at a time when the local government had put suddenly $1.9 billion in its budget to deal with the migrant crisis that had hit the city of about 27,000 people. So they had about 1,000 migrants come into the city, and they were completely overwhelmed.
Your state doesn't pay for nothing. You do. We do. The people do.
We're looking at Denver, which has seen a huge influx of migrants. Now, that's a city of about 751,000 people, and they got an influx of 42,000 people. Those numbers have since gone down, but the city has had to reassess their spending and is considering cutting emergency services like police and money to the fire department in order to come up with about $90 million that they need to help migrants.
We go to work, we grow the food, we build and make the products, we mine the resources, and then they turn around and take a piece of that work out of each of our paychecks and then turn around and give it to these people.
Not only with housing and food, but also with education, with job training, and things like that. So this whole crisis since about 2021, where an unprecedented number of migrants have sort of surged into the United States, has been a real burden on the smaller communities.
If you're lucky enough to be one of the individuals that pay taxes, then the more money you have, the more assets you own, the more you pay in taxes. And then they give that money that you just paid to these people, the illegals.
All right, as the government shutdown drags on, the White House is shedding light on how dozens of criminal illegal migrants received Medicaid before their arrests and their deportations.
Now let's just really bring all this home, right? Let me land this plane really quick. If I was a business owner and I know that I'm going to be paying X amount of dollars in taxes, and I own the companies that sell you these products, do you really think that I'm the one that's paying these taxes? Or do you think that I'm going to go ahead and pass the savings on down to my consumers?
White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson telling Fox News Digital, quote, due to previously lax federal controls and Democrat state policies, criminal illegal murderers and rapists received Medicaid at the American taxpayer's expense.
Then you have some of these companies that secretly employ these people. So now the illegals avoid paying into the very system that you pay for, that then turns around and pays it right back to them. Double dipping, right?
And I'm here to announce, Ainsley, and this is a big deal, that just over the last few months, we have proven that there's been over $1 billion. That's a billion with a B. It's a lot of money. It's not a rounding error. $1 billion paid by U.S. taxpayers for illegal immigrants in about half a dozen states. And we're just getting started. So it's going to be significantly more money than that. And just to break this down for everybody, Ainsley, if you live in Texas or Florida and you're paying U.S. federal taxes, most people do, your money is being diverted to places like California who have robust benefits for illegal immigrants, you know, dental, vision, things you don't even get on Medicare. And those funds we have no ability to track until today. Now we're investigating it, and we're going to continue to track this across the country. They want to fund those programs. If you want to fund full dental, vision, and, you know, robust health services in, for example, California or Illinois or New York or Minnesota, that's your choice. If you want to do that, you have to pay with your own state income tax. You can't use federal dollars for that. And so we are clawing that money back. Some of these states have already, they know they're guilty. They begin to pay the money back already. We will get all that money back into our federal coffers. The president is laser focused on protecting the U.S. taxpayer. But Ainsley, this raises a bigger issue. Why are we shut down? The people who should be doing these investigations, the folks who can solve some of the problems that we're having to improve the quality of care, for example, healthcare in this country, but many other services are being compromised by a shutdown that's based on false information. There is money being given to illegal immigrants on Medicaid. Again, Medicaid is designed for our most vulnerable, Ainsley. It's designed for our kids, for our elderly, folks who are struggling with significant health issues. They need those funds. You can't just dole that out to able-bodied illegal immigrants in states because they think it's the right thing to do. If they want to pay for it, they should pay for it.
Mind blowing. But anyway, what do I know, right? I'm just ClickThatReacts, and I'm honestly more interested in what y'all think. So y'all let me know down there in the comment section. And as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one.
ClickThatReacts. That real, I just wanna sit back.